They get the dub, and now they will turn around on the short weekend, host New Orleans, and they will be somewhere around a touchdown favorite, probably about a 6-point favorite when it's all said and done Sunday at Soldier Field.
Here's your cautionary tale. Don't think you're just going to show up and New Orleans is going to roll over because you're the mighty, mighty Chicago Bears. That's not going to happen. They're going to be dogfights, each and every one of these. They're going to be tooth and nail going into the fourth quarter where you've got to find a way to execute and win.
Feels like it's going to be a lot of their games.
That's it. That's what it's going to be.
And listen, a lot of games in this league are like that.
Yes.
Even good teams find themselves in that spot a lot, right? Just a lot of games in this league kind of come down to that. So I think you're 100% correct, and I don't know that the Bears are please, don't tell me they're walking around with so much hubris that they'll rest on it.
Well, I don't think so. I
don't think so at all.
You basically you waited for a mistake by Jaden Daniels not being able to catch a snap.
Exactly.
From the center, and you go for the handoff, and you don't have control of it, and it ends up on the ground, and number 26 ends up recovering.
Yeah.
I mean, you were gifted a possession there. Then you had to do something with the possession, and the Bears did do something with the possession, forced Washington to use all their timeouts, whatever they had left, and they went about the business of driving themselves into field goal territory. They make the field Moody. Yeah. Moody finds a way to make it good for him. 4 or 5 on the day. 4 or 5 on the day.
Yes.
Right? 4 or 5 on the day.
Was pretty good.
That block was going into it was going to hit somebody.
It was going to hit. I thought it was going to hit the long snapper in the keister.
By the way, blocked twice. One guy got it with his elbow, and then it ricocheted in the other guy's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that thing was blocked twice. If those guys just would have stood there, it would have taken off one of their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love what the Bears did with their bye week because obviously they went to work doing some self-scouting and trying to figure out what can we fix. And they fixed the running game at least for a week. That was good to see. It was the best running game of the year for the Bears. 145 yards on the ground, a little over 5 yards per carry. But most importantly, Eric, the second best rush EPA and the second best rushing success rate for any team in the NFL in Week 6.
Yep.
Oh, and you know what else? That vaunted Commanders rush attack?
Yeah.
Worst rush EPA for the week. So the Bears fixed their run defense for a game. They fixed their rush attack for a game. And if they can continue to do that, things will be better for this team. And it shows me that it's a coaching staff that knows what it's doing and used the valuable off week to do something productive. Like I said, the Bears haven't won a lot of games coming out of bye since they fired Lovey. 1, to be exact. Good coaching staffs know what to do with the bye week and know how to prepare their team. And it wasn't pretty. I get it. Like Jurko said, it kind of took a gift there at the end. But the Bears did do some things in that game that would tell you, okay, they recognized some of the mistakes and they went to work trying to address it and trying to fix some of the
and they're not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
You ought to quit looking for something that looks like, oh, my, we're going to be able to relax and be up by 3 touchdowns.
Like the 07 Patriots.
That's not going to happen.
Don't wait for that. I'm not going to look for that. You're
not going to happen, guys. Yeah, each and every week is going to be a dogfight. You hope when they learn how to do that winning, and they're doing it on the road right now, 2 straight games that they win on the road by a point, that kind of allows you to have that maturity that you need when you get into that situation. It's a familiar situation, and you know what it takes to go ahead and either close out a victory or make the final drive to get you in a position where you can get and attain victory. And that's where they're at. Not only with the coach, with Ben Johnson being new here, but with this team relating to the new coaching staff, this is where they're at. A month from now, I think they're going to be better than they are now. 2 months from now, I think they're going to be better. So the point is, I think they're becoming a better and a better and a better football team as you go on, as you move on. You've got a chance. Next 4 weeks, you've got a chance maybe to make a little bit of noise. Don't get bought up or caught up in the fervor. If they find a way to win, you go to 4-2. You got to play Baltimore on the road. That's going to be a tough little ball game. I imagine the Bears are going to compete. They're going to compete. They're going to be in it, but they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do dumb things. The penalties yesterday were absolute killers. Absolute killers. I mean, just worst timing sometimes in the world for penalties for the Chicago Bears.
Some of that, I think, was on a bad night for an inexperienced crew. I thought what took back what was a beautiful throw and catch touchdown from Caleb to Roma Dunze was a really lousy call.
Yeah.
I think the Monday Night Crew pointed that out as well. I think whomever they have as their official expert, their rules expert, I'm blanking on his name. Forgive me right now.
Yeah,
kind of told you. I mean, I get it. The league is telling because of the because of the nonsense that's happened the last couple years in Kansas City with the right tackle, who's just awful.
Yeah, he's terrible.
I mean, it's made like this point of emphasis, and I think that was very ticky-tacky. Like, I thought that was a ridiculous call on Theo Bennett. I really do. I thought it was ridiculous.
Was the official upstairs Chris Konamaki?
It's not Chris Konamaki.
No, not Konamaki.
No.
Okay.
It's Steve something. I'm blanking on his name. If I heard it, I would know.
Steve Letard?
It's not.
No?
I can't remember who it is. Forgive me. But not that it really matters. I think he even pointed out that he was fine where he was.
Yeah.
That as long as the helmet is sort of in line with the waist or the rear end of the center, you're fine.
You see no air between the ass and the helmet.
Yeah, I thought it was a terrible call. I really did.
Just dumb at the time. It's like, look at me. I'm an official in the NFL, Mom, and I threw the flag. Stupid.
Again, I get that it's become a point of emphasis for these guys from the league. But I come on. I thought it was terrible. But cleaning up some of the penalties. I mean, I did write that down for areas of concern because there's always still some areas for concern. I wrote down 9 more penalties here. They have the 10th most penalty yardage in the NFL. But remember, the Bears have had their bye. They're the only team in the NFL in the top 10 that has played the fewer game. Everybody else has, played the full 6 weeks. The Bears have had their bye. I mean, it's a lot of penalty yardage to be in the top 10 with your bye. So I would say that's still one area of concern. Bad timing for some of those. You got to clean that up. I thought the penalty on Deshaun Wright was a little ticky-tacky, too.
Yeah.
So some of it was just bad luck, I guess, on their in a sense. The officiating drew a lot of attention last night. If you want to talk about that aspect of it, that's fine. We want to talk about all aspects of this game with you. 312-332-3776. I was having a text conversation with a good friend of mine who's a largely rational person and a very successful guy, claiming that it was some sort of conspiracy against the Bears based off of the Jaden Caleb narrative, and the officials were told. I was like, you're kidding, right? Like, now the league is fixing games based off of talking head narratives. Who cares? I said, what is likely happening here is you have an inexperienced crew. It's a first-time official. It's a first-time referee. Excuse me. He's an umpire, I think, the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And a first-time referee, and his crew's not very good tonight. Like, what's more likely? Fixing a game because of some talking head narrative about Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams, or
it was wet and windy and they were miserable out there.
Or it was wet, windy, and it's not a very good officiating crew and they had a bad night. Yeah. Occam's razor here, folks. Yeah. What's more likely? The officials are bad sometimes.
Yeah.
And they had a bad night. They had a bad game. I thought the call against Theo Bennett was really bad. And it took away a highlight throw and catch.
Yeah,
it was a great play by Caleb and Rome.
Yeah, I use a Gillette razor.
I know you do.
Yeah, baby.
You do.
I didn't use Occam's razor.
Occam's razor.
Gillette razor. The simplest thing is probably the truth.
Thank you, Jurko. Yeah. The simplest explanation is most of the time going to be what's really going on. Exactly. And that's all that was a terrible night for the officials.
Terrible night for the officials. The horrific.
I don't think it's a grand conspiracy against Caleb or the Bears.
No. Just a bad night.
Yes.
Horrific night.
So ring us up, whatever you want to talk about. The other thing that's got game and Troy holds that against them. That's awfully petty. Yeah. Maybe that's the case. I don't care much. I care about the Bears winning. I care about Caleb getting better. It doesn't really affect my ability to watch a broadcast, to watch a game. I know it was a huge emphasis on Twitter, on X, and it feels like it's still going around town today. Troy Aikman's mean to the Bears. Who gives a damn?
Yeah, nobody
if Troy Aikman is mean to the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't really care. But that said, if you feel like if there's something specifically you want to point out about the broadcast last night, or if Troy was being, at the end of the day, all that matters is a 25-24 victory. Caleb making some plays late. Because like Jurk said, after the gaffe by Washington, you still had to move the ball down into field goal range at the very least. And you still had to be mindful of how you used your time and the rest of the time on the clock. And I thought the Bears did a very good job of that. That's what's important to me. How are you going to execute? Can you do it? And they did it. 312-332-3776. First time since 1995 that the Bears have scored 21 or more points in 5 straight games to open up a season, Jurk. That's good. It's also kind of sad in one sense. It's been 30 years since they've been any sort of competent offensively, where they've ripped off 5 straight games to open a season with 21 or more. The Bears are averaging 27 points per game during their 3-game winning streak. They are top 10 in the NFL right now in points per game. I'll take that. That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Offense trending in the right direction.
That's all we have ever asked for is just a little bit more offense. And we're getting it. A little bit more offense. Boy, I'd like to see them be efficient. You know, get down in the red zone. Let's score some touchdowns. Boy.
The red zone was another area that I marked down for area of concern. We just talked about penalties. I marked down red zone as well here. Mm-hmm. They're 18th in red zone scoring right now. They're just 2 of 7 the last 2 weeks. That's 28.6%. That's pretty bad. That's also a very small sample. So, okay, red zone, like third down, can sometimes be one of those sort of high variance areas and some high variance statistics. So I understand that there can be some serious ebbs and flows there. It's not, too problematic maybe that it's just a 2-week thing. But 2 of 7 over the last 2 weeks, not too good. They're also 0 for 2 in 2-point conversion tries. So down in that red zone, near the goal line, it's looked very clunky kind of on offense. I don't know why. I can't tell you how to fix that necessarily, but it has not looked good. And the red zone in general, the last 2 weeks, not only just as the percentage really bad, I think it's looked terrible. I think even to a very casual football fan, you could look at it and go, this doesn't look good in the red zone.
You had a real good chance to put those guys behind the 8 ball with the turnovers that you forced early. And if you could have put touchdowns on, they would have had to abandon their game plan and gone simply with the pass. And then you could have pinned yours back and really got after them. But the longer you kept them in the game, when they made it 13-7, when they scored their touchdown, it's like, come on. I go, you dominated this first half. You're dominating this first half. You cannot let it go. And they did. They ended up losing a lead.
Yeah.
They ended up losing a lead for a little bit.
They had that They had that chance to make it 16-7. They bypassed it, which is, my philosophy on going for it.
4th and 1, you don't care. You want to go for it.
Yeah, I like it. I also would have understood a field goal there. I wouldn't have raged because I would have said, okay, he's going up 2 scores, fine. But he's not messing around. You can tell. Whether that's Campbell's influence, it just might be the way Ben Johnson's wired. He's very analytic forward. And the math there did say go. It was terrible throw by Caleb.
Well, he didn't see the guy.
He didn't see him. I should say
he didn't see him.
He didn't see Frankie Louvu sort of stalking underneath that route.
He came up for a little sugar rush where he was up there. He's kind of engaged. And then he dropped back out of there.
Yeah.
And so in the dropping, you sit, you see, you look at coverage, you're downfield. You don't see a guy that's kind of backing out from the pass rush and saying, okay, I'm not coming. I'm going to go here. Did you see Dominic Robinson covering the running back on the play too? That he got picked on.
He got picked on.
By the way, where's the penalty? Where's that penalty? There's a.
Now, is that like a rub or a pick?
No. That was a pick. That was definitely for sure a pick.
Yeah.
Where's the penalty on that? Where's the obvious penalty on that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a mystery penalty. That's an obvious penalty on that. And then, so the question was sent to me. How can you have a defensive end covering a running back? Well, it's easy. It's not that difficult, actually. When you've got a blitz happening, and they do have a blitz, if the running back blocks, the defensive end continues to come.
Right.
If the running back releases
into the flat like
he's got a peel coverage.
Yeah.
They've acknowledged the fact that, we're bringing a blitz over there. We know we're a little bit shorthanded, and that doesn't really bother us. We will utilize peel coverage. So it looks like he'll be wide open initially, but somebody at least will be on there, and the throw will have to be perfect. And, of course, when they picked him, he was wide open.
Well, then it was really
he was wide open. When they did the illegal maneuver, the way they did it, with now the official's hands in pocket, right?
Yeah.
sewn
it's the
shut.
grand conspiracy.
Yeah, pockets sewn shut. All of a sudden, can't make the obvious call that happened right in front of your face.
Yeah. That seemed like an obvious one to me,
Do
too.
you think?
Yeah.
Absolutely way. And now, just because he fell over, because Dominic Robinson is a bigger fella, but, that happens. Peel coverage. I had to cover Barry Sanders in the flat one time.
Sometimes it happens.
Not because I wanted to.
Right. Sometimes the defense just dictates that you have to.
They put me at the defensive end spot. We had injuries along the defensive line. I go up. I got Peel coverage, and I can hear Blosh going, "Don't forget Peel." Here he comes. And there I am, moving my chubby little arms as fast as I can, trying to, stay up with Barry Sanders on a wheel route. What am I doing?
So sometimes it does happen.
It happens. So it's not out of whack.
Right.
It's a blitz that was called. He's got, in case of emergency, break glass, Peel coverage. Yeah. That's what he had. So it's not a shock. They don't design it where the defensive lineman's going to have him in coverage all the time. That was that specific play that has that one little caveat for a defensive end. If the running back releases, you've got to peel and get in coverage.
All right, big takeaways from yesterday. If you want to light them up, let's do it. Let's take a lot of Bears calls today. We'll talk to Tom Thayer at 11. Otherwise, we're wide open talking Bears with you on this Victory Tuesday. Bears win 25-24, 312-332-3776. Some long-term Caleb stuff I want to talk about here, trending in a pretty good direction. Wasn't perfect, wasn't pretty yesterday, but played pretty well and made some big plays when he had to late. And still, we continue to evaluate this very impressive quarterback class from a year ago, and you still see sometimes that these guys are all second-year players, even Jaden Daniels, and there are going to still be some ups and downs, so I want to continue to talk about that. But Caleb and the Bears going to Washington and get the win. Now it's the Saints at home on